Hey everyone, so we are back at Musgrave Park for another AIL game today, but ahead of the game I just wanted to do a quick video and explain why this camera, the Sony AX53 camcorder, is perfect for live sports and sports analysis. So if you don't follow us or know who we are, we cover live sports streaming and recording. We work with a lot of teams in Munster, in Ireland and all over Ireland. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, why not hit the subscribe button or the follow button and give this video a like. So right off the bat, when you're dealing with recording field sports, you really need a good zoom on your camera. As you can see here, we're about 20-30 feet away from the sideline of the pitch, so you need a good zoom on your camera to get right into the action and over to the other side of the pitch. So as you can see here, this camera has a 30 times optical zoom, which allows us to get really into the action and gives us a good clear picture at the same time. So yeah, it works really well. So next up, one of the big pluses of this camera is you have the shoe on the top, which will allow you to connect an external field monitor. So this isn't exactly an essential part of recording, but it does help, and if you can afford it, I would recommend getting a 5 to 7 inch field monitor. It stops you having to use the small viewfinder which is on the side of the camera. Now, while that will work perfectly well and you get a good clear picture and a sense of the game through it, it does tend to start to hurt your eyes over the course of an hour or 2 hours, and if you're using that a couple of times a week, your eyes won't thank you for it, believe me. So that will run from the HDMI port on the side of the field monitor down into the mini HDMI port on the camera. So another feature that's worth looking at here is the fact that this camera has what's called a multiport. Now a multiport will allow you to connect something called a zoom controller, which I'm pointing out here. Now a zoom controller is a little device that you can put onto the arm of your tripod, and that will allow you to zoom in and zoom out, press start and stop recording while the game is going on. So another feature and something that I class as being pretty important when recording sports is the battery life on this camera. So on a full charge, this camera will give you about 3.5 hours of record time when recording in 1080p, which I usually do when I'm recording sports. So if you're doing a football game or a GA game or rugby game, you should have no issues whatsoever in the battery life of this camera. So lastly, and again very importantly, is the lens on this camera. This camera has a 26.8mm wide Zeiss Vario Sonar T lens, very high quality, and because it's such a wide angle lens, it allows you to get a lot more of the game into your picture. So that's about it, just a few quick reasons why we use the Sony AX53 for our sports analysis games. We also use it for our live streaming, so in the grand scheme of things, not the cheapest of cameras, but also not the most expensive of cameras. Really good kind of upper to mid-range level camera that I'd recommend for people doing sports analysis. Again, we're going to be looking to do a lot more of these type videos, looking at the equipment we use and why we use it. So if that's what you're into, please hit the subscribe button and we'll be pushing out more content over the next few weeks and months.